Thank you. Our next guest is a gentleman who needs an introduction, like a sunrise needs a rooster. In Germany, he's Der Bingle. In Japan, he's Bing Yu-san. In Spokane, Washington, he's Katie's boy, Harry. Ladies and gentlemen, Bing Crosby.
Man, I feel like H.B. Warner going over the Shangri-La Pass.
It is a long distance, isn't it?
It certainly is. When the grass grows up, you'll have a nice little dogleg 5-pie there.
I know what you mean. You know, when Bob Hope was here, he said it looked like a burlesque runway.
Yes, well, that's Hope's word. Actually, he started out in burlesque, Andy. He used to blow up the balloons for the bubble dancer.
You're kidding.
Yeah, but they let him go. His nose kept puncturing the balloon. But I've seen you. Let's see. It's been Pebble Beach tournament.
Oh, why did you mention that?
Why, is that a sore subject?
Well, I mean, that's a tough course, and everybody saw me on camera that day. That 18th hole right out in the ocean.
Yeah, but you didn't do too bad. You only took 6 strokes.
Yeah, but 3 of those strokes were swimming.
What do you mean? A side stroke?
No, that was a breaststroke. It was, you know, Bing, I meant to drop you a note because Claudine and I saw you in Stagecoach, and I think there's another Academy Award there. You're great.
No chance of that,
Oh,
but I'm very grateful for your comment because I'm happy it turned out so well. I was a little worried. It's quite a, a task to play a drunken doctor for me, but I went right to the top. I got expert advice. I got Phil Harris.
I didn't know Phil knew that much about medicine.
He's not exactly a member of AMA. Take the M out and you got something. You're getting close.
I guess you're right. Why don't we sing something?
I'm with you.
Oh.
We do real good. Maybe the young Americans will find a spot for us.
They might have that.
In a little Spanish town, 'twas on a night like this. Stars were peekabooing down, 'twas on a night like this.
Your turn.
I whispered, be true to me. And she sighed,
It was muy simpático.
Many skies have turned to gray because we're far apart. Many moons have passed away and still she's in my heart. We made a promise
And sealed it with a kiss.
in a little Spanish town. 'Twas on a night like this.
That's pretty tricky there.
In a little Spanish town, 'twas on a night like this. Stars were peekabooing down, 'twas on a night like this.
I whispered, will you be true to me?
And she sighed, see. Many skies have turned to gray because we're far apart. Many moons have passed away and still she's in my heart. We made a promise and sealed it with a kiss. In a little Spanish town, in a little Spanish town, in a little Spanish town, was on a night like this. Ole!
Beautiful. They just keep it back. They're all around. Hey, listen, Bing.
What?
If you're in town tomorrow,
I'll be here.
Why don't we get Hope and the 3 of us? Maybe we'll get somebody else to play some golf.
Well, I don't think you'd get Hope to play unless you get about 3,000 people in the gallery.
Why?
Oh, he wants to do about 10 minutes before he tees off.
Really?
Does a monologue, yeah.
You're kidding.
You know, one time we were playing a match in England, a charity match, exhibition, and we drove up to the club, and the crowd was all gathered around there, a goodly crowd, and Hope stepped out of the taxi and surveyed the assemblage and said, is my caddy about? And they said, yes, and a little fella come over with the cap and the kerchief around his neck, and he said, are you my caddy? And he said, aye, Governor. He said, you know the course very well? He says, I do indeed, Governor. He said, you know the distances of all the holes? He says, aye, Governor. He says, you know the greens, the break, the roll, and the speed of the greens? He says, aye, Governor, aye, I know all that, I know all that. Hope says, how are you at finding balls? Oh, he said, I'm fine. Hope says, well, find one and we'll start.
That's fun. Hey, Hope always seems to have a topper for everything. Have you ever in your association with him, known him to be stuck for something to say?
Yeah, I've seen him stop.
At a loss for words?
Yeah, just once. Once is all, and he was stopped cold that day. He dried up completely. We were making a picture in England, and the studio's out in the country, and we took a house out in the country also, about 7 or 8 miles from the studio.
Yeah.
And between the studio and the house was Wentworth Golf Course, one of the finest
yeah, I know, I've
in the
heard
country, and that probably influenced our decision to do the picture, I think. But we had it arranged so we'd finish about 5 o'clock, and England in the summer, they have those long, delightful twilight evenings, and we'd dash for the golf course and play 10 or 11 holes and then go on to dinner. So one day we were doing a scene in the picture. It was in a harem, and the villains are supposed to be sending us up to certain death in a rocket, but we don't know this. So the villains are giving us a big party. This is in the picture.
Yeah.
And there was a big soiree, you know, a saturnalia, bacchanalian revel, and Hope was laid out on a couch in a silk dressing gown.
Oh, I can see.
Girls were curling his hair, and some other girls were doing his fingernails.
he
And he had a
must have-
long cigarette holder with a turkey cigarette in it, and he had his feet up on the end of the couch, and they were painting his toenails red. And about that time, it was 5 o'clock, and Hope was watching his watch, and he said, "Cut, here we go, off to the golf course." We played 13 holes. We come into the locker room. And I must tell you, Andy, the English locker rooms are the most austere places you've ever seen in your life. You've probably been in them, but they just have a cold shower and a hook, a nail to hang your clothes on, and a bench to sit and change shoes. So we finished, and we sat down and started changing our shoes, and directly across from us were 2 English country gentlemen, typical country Colonel Blimp types, you know, with the mustaches, the walrus type, and the tweed coats. And Hope took off his shoes and socks, and I took off mine, and I looked up, and I saw this old Englishman's eyes fall to Hope's red toenails. And I saw him nudge his friend, and his friend's eyes flew to Hope's red toenails, and then they both looked at me, and I said,
What else?
and then the old Englishman leaned over to Hope, and he says, "I say, old chap," he said, "are you in the ballet?" Well, Hope put on his socks, picked up his shoes, and ran out of there like
Had nothing to say,
He
huh?
went out of there like a scalded dog.
Hey, Bing, you've recorded just about every song ever written, I guess.
Oh, I've took a swing at a few, sometimes with more ambition than judgment, I'm afraid.
No,
but
I don't think so.
I never did do Indian Love Call. I couldn't handle the echo in that.
Nelson Eddy covered that one pretty
He
well.
did,
Anyway.
he did it good.
Why don't we do a couple of the songs that you didn't pass out?
I'm with you, Andy.
All right.
All the way.
Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze.
Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees.
Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in.
I'm an old cowhand.
I'm an old cowhand
From the Rio Grande.
from the Rio Grande,
And I learned to ride
and I learned to ride
before I learned to stand.
before I learned to stand. I'm a riding fool who is up to date.
I know every trail in the Lone Star State.
I ride the range in my Buick 8.
Clever.
Yippee-i-oh-ki-yay. After it. In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, shall I be there? In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, better say the chair. When the party's getting a glow on, singing fills the air. In the shack of the night, when the doing's all right, you can tell 'em I'll be there. If I ain't in the clink and there's something to drink.
Or would you rather be a mule?
I know this one. A mule is an animal with long, funny ears. Picks up at everything here.
Yes, his back is brawny and his brain is weak. He's just plain stupid with a stubborn streak.
And by the way, if you hate to go to school,
You may grow up to be a mule.
or would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar and be better off than you are. You could be swinging on a star.
I'd rather be swinging the blues and
Well, I'll buy that, Mr. C.
Tell you what I'll do, Drew.
What's that?
I'll sing the lyric
Fair enough. I'll sing the Whites.
Well, somebody better sing the melody and harmony.
I want
Take the flavor
a day,
and then you flavor
the
it with just an ode to Maggie.
to watch
Tell the orchestra
the
it's place to
scene
come,
below.
and then you jazz a little on the guy.
The creek
Now that Maggie
and the creek
is such a raggy
old
tune,
mill.
pay no attention to the music that they play.
as we
Just ride
too long,
your blues
long away, long ago. The green
Here's the
road
perfect
is
time.
gone
It's just
from
smoking
my
time.
hill,
All around I see Maggie chime.
where once
Every loving
the
note, such a loving
daisies
moment, just
sprung.
full of music that you can't refuse.
But I love
Now you know the way.
same
Tell the band to play. When you listen, say,
Maggie, I got those aggravating, agitating blues I'm hating. So I'm staying, I'm only waiting to lose those ever loving Maggie blues.
I mean the blues.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Andy.
You know, if you ever do another road picture, I hope the road leads over this way, and you can bring your funny friend if you like.
Who, Bob?
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
if I can get him out of an airplane long enough to drag him over, he's flying here and there, picking up plaques and citations, all well-deserved, of course.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
Thank you, Bing.
You're welcome, Andy. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Bing Crosby. We'll be right back with Kate Smith, the Young Americans, Ernie Ford, and of course more of Bing.
Thank you.